All right, everybody, it's 106.7 KROQ, KROQ. I'm Stryker. Mike from Incubus is here. Neil Strauss, the incredible writer, a ton of stuff in Rolling Stone and autobiographies for people like Motley Crue and Marilyn Manson. And Mike's wife, Anne-Marie Simpson Einziger, is here as well. And today, everybody, just quickly, we're not going to talk about music and writing and dirty stories. We are here to create awareness for a missing person named Elaine Park. And as I said earlier, SoCal is huge, but for me, I'm born and raised here. It still at times feels like a small community, and I think maybe creating awareness for the next few minutes can lead to something. Mike, the missing person is Elaine Park. How are you connected to Elaine, who was 20 years old and went missing in January? Fill us in on the main points, Mike.
So, well, first of all, Stryker, thank you for having us here.
Of course.
And thank you so much to KROQ for allowing us to spread this message. It's so important. Anne-Marie, my wife, and Neil, and his wife, Ingrid, we all live in Malibu. And we all saw that there were search and rescue operations going on PCH. This is back at the end of January. And I think it was a concern to us that we found out someone had gone missing. And this girl, Elaine Park, her car was found on Pacific Coast Highway, very close to where we live, actually. And it was very disconcerting that somebody could just disappear like that. And there's, so much technology everywhere and social media. It's really hard for something like that to happen. And so we did a little more just reading online various news stories, and it was written that the police had exhausted all of their leads and that there was no progress being made on the case. So we kind of all just got together and reached out to some people who were running a Facebook page on Elaine's behalf, a very kind woman named Rosemary Wheeler, along with Elaine's mother. And we started getting some more information and just asking them how we could be helpful in a situation like this where someone is missing and very little resources are being committed to helping to find her.
Wow. And why do you think very little resources are not being done? Or why are the resources, why are they not exhausting everything? Why do you think, Neil?
Yeah, well, I think the reason is because when it's just a missing person and they don't know what it is, whether it's foul play, a homicide or not, we now suspect foul play, and we can tell you a little bit why. They're not able to devote those resources just because of how it works. If you check the LAPD website for missing people, they say you might want to hire a private investigator, which the family did. And just to paint the picture of what happened, if it's helpful a little bit.
Yes.
So here's what happened, because we're actually asking for people to help and listen, to put their heads together. You can probably even maybe find footage online that could solve this for real.
Right.
So on January 28th at 6 a.m., Elaine Park left her ex-boyfriend's house, who she'd been dating on and off for a couple months in Calabasas.
Only a couple months they've been seeing each other?
Only a few months,
okay.
Yeah. About 3 months? 2 or 3 months.
So she leaves at 6 a.m., she's in her car in Calabasas, then what happens?
And there's security camera footage that shows her leaving. So we know that she left. Then that's it. That's the last time she's ever seen. Her car shows up, is found 5 days later, so that's February 2nd, on Pacific Coast Highway. Let me tell you the condition it was in. So the car's there, the doors are unlocked, the keys are in the ignition, and the car is on, engine's not on because the battery's bad. The keys are in the ignition and on, lights are switched on, her phone is there, her backpack is there, her makeup is there, her money, her computer, everything that she cared about is there except for her.
Wow. And what is her nationality? I know she's 20 years old. Mike?
She's a Korean American.
Okay. And she was in the entertainment business? I mean, I've read online she was trying to be an actress and that sort of thing?
She had done some small roles on television and films, extra roles.
She loved dancing. She had a little bit part on Crazy Stupid Love and Role Models, an episode of ER, and I think Desperate Housewives. I think dance and music were her passions.
Got it. And Mike and Anne-Marie and Neil are wearing T-shirts that say Find Elaine Park. And Neil, I want to ask you about the reward that I saw that was announced this morning, $250,000 reward. And fill me in on how long that reward lasts, because I read a bullet point on that today.
Right. So this is just live today. So as of today until September 15th, that's the window, which is not very long, and that's where we got to get the word out, is if you can find information leading to the whereabouts of Elaine Park, it's $250,000, cash, no questions asked, anonymous. It's a safe path between you and that. So if you're someone who knows something, if you're someone who is involved, if you're someone who wants to do the research and the searches. Anyone that's $250,000.
Her name is Elaine Park, again, if you want to search it. And with all the technology, especially a 20-year-old, you would think there would be some sort of footprint with their phone and who possibly she was talking to. Have the police? I'm sure they have, but where does the ex-boyfriend lie in all this, Mike?
I mean, apparently he's been very cooperative.
Okay.
We're like Neil just said, actually, we're much more concerned right now with just finding Elaine and creating a very clear pathway for someone to anonymously be able to attain a $250,000 reward. We're just trying to bring her home to her family where she belongs.
Wow. Well, you guys have really stepped up from finding out something terrible, possibly. I mean, it seems like it happened right in front of your house to taking action. Kudos to you guys for this.
Yeah, and for internet sleuths who want to just do some digging and they're up late at night. So think of this window of time we just mentioned, which is February 28th at 6 a.m. January 28th at 6 a.m. to February 2nd, or let's say around 4 p.m. We'll give you that time range on Pacific Coast Highway, right at Corral Canyon, a little bit south.
Ocean side of the road.
On the ocean side of the road, you can find footage. Was the car there that whole time or was it not? Maybe you can find
That's the big question. Where was the car the previous days?
Exactly.
And let's describe the car. The car was a dark gray Honda Civic.
Yeah, 2015 four-door.
Or actually, no, it was a Honda Accord.
It's on the Honda Civic.
It is a Civic?
Yep.
Okay.
And there are photos
go
ahead.
We have a website set up. It's elainepark.tips, and anybody can easily Google it and find it. We're going to put a diagram or map up of the specific area of Pacific Coast Highway that we're interested. We're trying to reach out to the public to see if we can get footage or photographs to see if her car was parked in that specific location during that window of time. And we've been looking this whole time. We've come so close. We've found footage on Instagram and on YouTube where cameras stop recording literally a second before you would see that spot. And someone has to have something. You know, we're convinced of that.
Well, I hope this helps just a little bit. Her name is Elaine Park. If you want to search it out, be an online sleuth, as Neil said. I mean, I'm always on. I see a name in the news. I constantly Google and do my own searching all the time, and I hope something is found. And I'm just sure her family is just. It's been a horrible last, I guess, 6 months or so for them.
Well, we just. You know, Anne Marie and I, we just have our first children in this world. Like, you know, our children are 3 months old. We have twin girls, and our own daughters. You know, in a situation like this, it's just shocking.
Right.
And can't even imagine what it's like for her family in a situation like this, or her friends. Her friends are some of the most wonderful people. We've gotten to know them over the last few months, and Elaine is. From all the information we've gotten about her, when you say Anne Marie, describe Elaine. Just
well, through talking with her friends, her family, even looking at some bits of her journal, we know that Elaine is a passionate person. She loves music. She loves dance. She's a talented artist. She's spontaneous, so generous with her friends. She's a lovely, lovely person. We've grown to love her, and our goal is to find her. So just emphasizing the overall message is we want to find her. There's a big reward for anybody who can help us do that. No questions asked. We just want to find Elaine.
$250,000. Mike, thanks for coming in. Neil Strauss and Anne Marie, thank you guys. Kudos, and I hope this can help just a little bit. Again, the name is Elaine Park. Search it out, and we'll be back in a moment on KROQ, everybody.